Hey, this is Role Playing Public Radio, RPPR Actual Play, and we are playing Delta Green Lethe, and I'm Ross Payton. I thought I'd switch it up for 2024. And
that felt weird.
Yeah.
Claire is laughing into her sweater right now.
Hey!
I was hoping that if I laughed into my sweatshirt, my auto mic wouldn't pick it up.
Yeah. Hey. So this scenario is called Lethe. And you'll find out in a little bit. But we have 3 agents, a full cell of agents, on a very normal mission where it'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Nothing could possibly go wrong.
Yeah. So why don't we introduce our guest first? Claire. Tell us about your character and tell us if you have any podcasts you'd like to plug that you are also on, aside from RPPR. Yeah.
I feel like I've been officially absorbed into the podcast conglomerate at this point, which is pretty cool. It's nice. Mm-hmm. It's nice to feel wanted. But hello, I'm Claire. I'm part of Relatable Rolls with Max, who, spoiler alert, is also here. We do actual plays and reviews of RPGs. It's pretty fly. Come check it out. I am playing Maci Adams, who is a federal agent, and as Ross likes to say, is ready to throw herself into the meat grinder.
Yeah. And our other guest, hi, Max.
Hello. I'm the aforementioned other half of Relatable Rolls, along with Claire, and also 1/3 of Good Brews, Bad Views, a movie commentary and beer podcast where we're drinking beers and watching movies, and everyone who's on this episode of RPPR has been on Good Brews, Bad Views, and they've all been a grand old time.
Yeah.
Today I am playing Madeline Owens, a anthropologist at the New York Museum of Natural History, who works in the D-Stacks.
Ooh, very interesting. And then finally we have RPPR favorite, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Aaron. How you doing, Aaron?
Good, although I appreciate you calling me the favorite, but I think there's like many people who would argue that fact with their own.
Aaron, you're the only RPPR cast member who I have art of framed in my home.
Yeah.
That you've signed.
Oh, okay.
For the shark biting incidents.
Okay, sorry. I'm sitting going like,
you're one of a kind, Aaron. Yeah.
Thank you. So, I appreciate it. But hello, yes, it's Aaron. So, I will be playing additional federal agent Lorena Meza. So, excuse me if I can say that correctly. She is 48, so she's been in the FBI a long time, seen way too many things that she probably can't speak of on a regular basis without drinking heavily of non-malorted substances.
Ooh, okay. So for this scenario, first off, I would like each of you to roll 1d6.
Ooh, okay.
5.
Okay.
I got a 3.
And I got a 3 as well.
Okay. Just for fun, Aaron, reroll yours.
Okay. Was that a 5 that you got, Claire?
Yeah. Roll until you get something other than a 5.
Okay, yeah.
You don't have. Yeah. I just want to have a little fun. All right. So 2. Okay. All right. 5. Max got 3, and Aaron got 2.
Yeah. Although we do still wake up screaming if we have the same dream. That's fine. So.
Well, speaking of dream, how we're going to begin in this scenario is each of you are independently having a nightmare or is the only way you can describe it. Your mind is awash with pain and confusion. You're dizzy. You don't know. You think your eyes are open, but it's pitch black, or you could feel your body being compressed, or you're in like you're being held down, or there's something large you're being pressed up against. It's wood. Are you buried alive? You begin to panic, and you kind of suddenly each remember something different about the last 24 hours. So each of you, or something in particular, shared experience you all had, the briefing. What is one thing you remember from the briefing? What is one thing you want to remember from the briefing? We'll start with Agent Lorena Meza.
Okay, so out of clarify right now, is it something information that we want or something that we're actually stating happened?
No, something information that you want.
Okay, information they want.
Something that is very vivid in your mind. That, like, you remember being in a room, an office room. Someone was briefing you about where you had to go and what you had to do for the program. There's something about it that really stuck out in your mind. It could be the target. It could be
the person. The thing that stuck in my mind was the person of interest. So who we were tracking or supposed to find.
It wasn't a person. It was a book. The book is called the Prayerbooks of Lethe. A set of tomes, actually several books, that are connected to a obscure cult called the Drowners of Lethe. Like the river Lethe, that would cause people to forget when they died in Greek mythology. And you remember your mission is to get this book, or get these books and bring them back. They are prescribed tomes. The program has flagged them as they need to be taken out of circulation immediately. That is something. You were here to come to this place to do that. But as you're doing this, as you're remembering this part, you remember raising your right hand to ask a question to your briefer. Your arm starts melting. The flesh slaws off the bones of your arm, and as you look, you can see something growing to replace it. As you look to your horror, this different flesh that looks rubbery like an octopus starts wrapping around you, and you feel this incredible pain, just indescribable. And so we'll cut to who wants to go next? Agent, let's.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Okay, Madeline Owens. So yeah, you also are in a horribly compressed space. It's dark. You don't know. You think you're having a nightmare, but it feels like you're awake, or you have this terrible migraine. What is one thing you want to remember from your briefing very vividly and very clearly?
Who currently has the book, or do I?
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you can act on this information you get from the other agents. So you know that you're going to outside to this country estate, this large mansion in sort of the backwoods of Massachusetts, where the owner of the estate had died without any heirs. And his will said his collection was going to be put up for auction and donated to charity, and the proceeds would be donated to charity. And so there's an estate listing, a preliminary thing sent to an auction house, and that's where the Prayerbooks of Lethe was flagged by the program when they monitor estate sales for this kind of thing. And so that suddenly you realize, you think, and so you're in, it's a dead person's house. You're at a mansion somewhere in the backwoods of Massachusetts, and it is we'll say that the person's name was Robert Hunter, which you don't know much about, but yeah. Let me make names. Definitely didn't just pull that name out of a random name generator. All right, but yeah, as you're doing this, you feel as your left arm starts falling off, like bits of flesh, just like chunks of it. Like you just see the space between your palm just literally just kind of like fall off in pieces, like dried, and you watch as this blood and gore falls to the floor of the briefing room, but then something wraps around your arm and starts biting down, so we'll cut to our final character, which is Maci Adams, FBI. And you rolled a 5. Okay, yeah. What is one thing you remember from the briefing?
I want to remember why this is such an important thing. Why is this set of books so dangerous that it needs to be pulled and removed immediately once we now know that where they are and who owns them?
So the Prayerbooks of Lethe, it is an obscure cult, the Drowners of Lethe. They only surface they're only noted in the history books every couple of decades. Maybe last time it was 30 years ago when anyone had heard anything related to them. They have a long operating cycle, but every time they surface or they're known to be active, a lot of people die. And if someone got these books away from them, this is maybe your one chance, once in a century kind of chance to get these books out of circulation, find out what they're really up to and what kind of threat they pose. So you don't know much about them, but you do know that they operate on a very long cycle. And these books, you'll never have a chance like this to get these books again. This is the only set known to exist. And they're so. And what you feel is that you're sweating. The briefing room is incredibly hot, and as you sweat, you feel something come out of your pores that isn't like sweat. It's far more viscous. It's this clear goo, and you start sweating more because of that, and you feel it cover you, and all of you, give me sand checks.
It's good. 82, that's a failure.
I also failed.
57, I barely fail it.
All right, is 1 if you make it, 1d6 if you fail.
Jesus!
I mean, that's going to be a fun starting off with a temporary.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I only lost 2. I'll take it. I got lucky on that roll.
Same here.
Lost 4.
Yeah. So all of you panic and struggle, and you kind of wake up, and your minds become sharp enough to realize you're awake, and you're in this. It's like you're in a horribly dark space, but you feel wood on both sides, and you're sort of standing, and you think you're in a crawl space between walls of a building somewhere. And there's nothing to do other than blind panic and groping and pulling yourself along until all of you find a secret door that pushes outward, and almost simultaneously all 3 of you fall into the same room, which is a library room, but each of you sees 2 strangers with you, 2 old. Then you start looking at it yourselves, and there's this horrible moment of realization. You're not in your own body, and all of your bodies are different. All of them are older. They're the same gender, but let's see here. Lorena Meza, your right arm is a tentacle. Tiny finger-sized tentacles are at the end, but you gain 2 points of strength and have plus 10% to unarmed, as there are no bones in this arm. And then let's see here. Madeline Owens, it's your left arm that is a fleshy tentacle. And Maci, you were sweating this thick substance that you see a fly light upon a small pool, and then it just stops moving.
So I'm secreting death?
A poison.
Paralytic or something?
All of you are wearing old-time clothes. All of you look like to be in your 60s or 70s, or older. Your physical stats are unchanged, aside from what I said, for the sake of expediency. But yeah, none of you are in your own bodies anymore, and you don't know how this happened.
When you say old time clothes, do you mean like the
Like
clothes
50
Eldridge-
years, like,
Oh.
yeah, like,
Okay. Dated clothing. Okay.
Yeah.
dated clothing that has been washed and worn many times. It is threadbare. It is simple, like thrift store kind of clothing.
Mhm.
It is plain and forgettable, and it is torn in several places, especially now since you frantically pushed your way out of the crawl space. And yeah, all of you spend probably like 10-15 minutes kind of looking at yourselves and each other before you start talking and saying your names, and realizing that you're what's happened to you happened to the others. I don't want to role play an hour of
I was
like.
saying, I would say, do
Who
we
are you?
remember that we were in a group?
Yes, you
Okay,
remember
all right.
that you were briefed at this. All three of you remember what each of you did in the nightmare. So you remember you were sent to a remote mansion in Massachusetts to get the book, The Prayerbooks to Lethe, because of it was used by a cult called the Drowners of Lethe. Yeah, that's about it. But you were in a well-appointed old library, like a library room, not a building. Like this looks like it's the mansion you were sent to go to. But like this is the library room. There's a large display case in the center. Like along the far wall, there's bookshelves. There's a big prominent display case where there's like impressions where there were books, like a pedestal where a large like medieval kind of tome would be read, and that probably where the prayer books were kept. But the prayer books are gone.
Okay. I know the conversation right now is just repeating my name constantly while not looking at my arm, looking at that point, and actually repeating the names of my fellow officer and the one. So like Madeline Owens, Maci Adams, Madeline Owens, Maci Adams.
Yeah,
Mhm.
me,
Yeah.
the one without
Yeah.
a tentacle.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess I should be happy that I have both arms, but I seem to be secreting some sort of poison juice, and I don't know if that's better. I don't know.
yeah, just we can't really at least test that out right now. Just taking control of the situation. Look around. Is there any like or any kind of fabrics or like other clothing or anything that's around there, or curtains or decorative curtains
You're
or
an
something?
interior room. There's no windows.
Okay.
There's a carpet. If that's there's no missing clothing or anything like that.
Mainly not so much but I could see her, looking around. She was something to wrap Macy's arms up, so she's not secreting anything. So
It's coming from my whole body.
Yeah,
is it? Okay.
It's
Yeah.
sweat.
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
It's what I sweat now.
Yeah.
never mind. Okay, so get that.
And as I'm
Madeline,
doing, I'm like pinching the bridge of my nose, but then also just like, ah.
Once you calm down a bit, you stop sweating. You realize you sweat when you sweat. Like you don't like constantly secrete the poison, but it replaced your sweat. Yeah.
Madeline, are you all right?
Yeah, I was joking with my friends when the AARP started sending me ads at the tender age of 27, but little did I know that'd be more relevant than I originally thought. How are you?
Just raise the tentacle hand right now. It's like,
Yeah,
this.
I got one of those too.
Great, so we can at least have the aspiring. No, it's like the aspiring sashimi business going forward. So,
Do any of you guys remember? Like, was this where we were earlier? Like, I don't like. It's all black.
I don't remember getting here either.
Well, from
Clearly,
what
this
I
is
can,
where we were supposed to go. Like, we went here on purpose, and now we're here at another time. Like, I feel like this was where we were supposed to go, right? Like, we had to go get the books, and we had to come to an estate. And this is clearly no longer a dead man's house. It looks like it's an alive man's house, and this is not who any of us are.
No.
yeah, because we're not in just like our bodies, but aged several decades. We're in completely foreign bodies to our own. Correct?
Yeah.
Mr. Peyton? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Do I have anything in my pockets, or is it just nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
So it looks like we've just been given second-hand clothes. Second, third, fourth, fifth hand clothes. So,
yeah.
So we're in a room. It's an interior room, so that means to be able to see things, there's lights. Are they electrical light? Are they
They're electrical.
Sconces? They're electrical lights. Okay.
Yeah.
If I based on how light it is in the room, can I look into the crawl space and see if I left anything behind other than the sheen of my viscous sweat?
You actually see a syringe near where you were standing in the crawl space.
I'm gonna crawl back in and get it.
Okay. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, it looks like a medical syringe. There's a bit of blood on it. It is used. It is empty.
I'm gonna either Lorenza or Madeline. Will you look at my neck or anywhere where there could be a potential syringe point? Have I been syringed?
You have. Each of you has been syringed.
I'm checking them too.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming if I look in your guys' crawl spaces, I will see matching syringes. So we were put here on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Put
injected and then
on purpose.
The library itself, does this look like a place that has been used recently, or is it all dust covered and no one's been here for ages kind of library?
Oh yeah, there is a door, by the way, leading out. Right. It is a mansion. There is definitely usage. The bookshelves have some dust, but you can see there's little. The dust isn't caking it evenly. Some books have been pulled out more frequently than others. A lot of history books and things like that. Books on the occult. Surface glance, it is a very old but respectable library with a focus on the occult and esoteric matters.
Okay.
Looking over the books, do any titles pop out to me with an occult of 60?
Give me an occult roll to sort of assess this.
Hot 5.
It is a very European focused faced, a lot of stuff on Greek mythology, and this would be the library of an occultist or cultist, someone deeply involved. These are very obscure titles. These are very dense text. This is someone with a very profound understanding of the occult and is trying, this is not an amateur, this is not a new age person, this is a very old world occultist library.
All right, communicate to Maci and Lorena that this is beyond someone just looking at their birth chart for good dating matches.
No, we were looking at a Capricorn. Can I look while she is looking through the stacks? I just want to look around the room, search, and see if there's anything I could use to identify when we are. Is there a calendar? Is there a type of phone somewhere in the room? Is there anything I can search to figure out what year this potentially is?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, are you leaving the library? Or are you going to look around?
Not yet. I want to get as much information as we can before we leave this temporary safe
what skill are you using?
Search?
Yeah.
Yeah, 56 under 70.
The wall switches are recent, plastic,
it's not
conventional. Yeah. Library, the shelving is pretty old, and obviously the books are very old. But there's a reprint of a recent book that you notice. So if you're thinking time travel, this would not be very far into the past. It does appear like an old building that has been renovated at least once.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are we wearing shoes?
On time travel yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Old worn leather shoes. Someone who got shoes a long time ago and has not changed them, but they have been patched together themselves. Someone's done a little bit of amateur cobbling, to keep it working. Little nails have been replaced and shoelaces and stuff like that.
Sure.
These are the shoes of somebody who wears shoes until they literally fall apart. And they're not quite there yet. Yeah.
Before we look around, sorry.
Yeah.
Could I also possibly do a criminology roll, since we were literally secreted away in like cabinets that were meant to inject us with something?
Okay, yeah, give me a criminology check.
So if there's anything right now relating to potential kidnapping or other or that's like other awful things.
Sure.
Yeah, no, that fails. So
what the fuck is going on? Like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
I also have criminology. Can I try that too?
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, 3 under 50.
All right, give me intelligence times 5.
That's my best one. Thanks,
Okay.
Ross. 18.
Okay. And give me a sand check.
It's fair.
The
Tough,
horror
fair.
of knowing.
Uh-huh.
I do pass that one.
Okay. 1 for unnatural. What if you were a horrible old person who had real power, and you set a trap for somebody, and you waited until they came into this room, you were hiding in the crawl space, you injected yourself with a sedative, and then you did something to switch bodies.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We got honeypotted. Do I, with my background in history, anthropology, and the occult, do I know more about the Drowners of Lethe than what?
Yeah, you can give me a history check, yeah.
All right. 93 out of 80. That's my best skill on my sheets. And
You're a little distracted.
Yeah.
It's hard to focus for some weird reason.
Yeah.
Wait, Maci, are you actually saying that we were literally body napped? That we're walking out there somewhere?
Yeah, so Lorena, two people are out there in our bodies with our badges and guns. And this
3 people.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
Madeline, no, you're very important. You don't have a badge and gun. There's like a minimal amount of pure damage that you can do as a historian.
Well, I have
stops
access to some stuff that does pure damage, but less said about that, the better.
Yeah, fair. I'm more thinking immediate danger of gun and badge. I apologize for offending you. I did not mean to.
Also, with access to resource and information, because if they have our credentials, they can get into stuff right now to potentially either screw over or hide again for another 30 to 40 years. Ugh.
Yeah.
So
why do you think I'm here? I needed. Where do you think those books were going after they were collected?
Not the incinerator.
No.
Like, I guess they may already be gone.
No.
Mm-hmm.
They may want to search the rest of the house then just to see where they are at. Although, why would they do this? Bring up the tentacle arm again?
Well, that's probably why I bring up my own tentacle arm.
And as this is happening, as I have gotten this knowledge, I have immediately started sweating again, for better or worse. So I think I'm like lifting up my dripping arms. I'm like, I think I'm ready to go face this head on. I might not have my gun anymore, but I can probably do some slapping damage. As can you ladies. We're all slappers here now.
Yeah.
I'm just rambling because I am so deeply affected by the fact that someone else has my FBI badge, which is my prized possession.
And your face, which
and
is
my
probably
face. I care
important.
less about my face. I've never been the looker. It's more the badge and gun.
All right. Glad we got those priorities straight. Yeah. So you open the door. There's dead silence. This mansion is very still and very quiet. And it's all of you quickly realize it is empty. There is no one here, unless they are absolutely quiet, hiding somewhere. But like, it is. You all 3 can. Are you? You look for. Yeah. What are you going to do? It is very. Yeah. Sorry. What do you want to do first? Now that you've opened the door and kind of hear nothing. And see that it is pre-dawn. There's a window in the hallway, and you can see the glimmer of light. It's probably like 5 a.m., something like that.
So you guys only had one fucked up dream, right? You just had the one fucked up dream, both of you, just checking?
Yes.
So
Yes.
Probably only been one night. So they hopefully haven't gotten too far. So theoretically still in tracking time. So we need to figure out if there's any sort of record or clues as to where they would have went.
There's a possibility some way we can slow them down.
Look outside. Is our car still there?
No.
All right. We can report that stolen to the Bureau, and that gets at least somebody on them to the point where it slows them down.
How is it stolen?
Yeah, it wasn't stolen.
We're the ones driving it, yeah.
We are the ones driving it, but we still report that information with our full credentials, and somebody is taking that information in.
I think the situation needs to be reported to someone besides the Bureau, considering you guys are driving the car issued to you, or such like that, and tentacle arm and that. Fumble around for like a light switch, so we're not fumbling around in the dark.
Yeah, there's lights. Yeah, it's got like light bulbs and yeah.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure if like everything was like, no lights or whatever. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you can all if you want to look for something specific, you can let me know what you want to look for, or you can just make search checks to kind of like look around the mansion and see what's here.
Is there a phone somewhere in?
Okay. So you're looking for a phone. That would require a search check.
All right, I will roll search. Again, 93. So I can't.
We live here now.
There are a noticeable lack of phones. There are phone jacks in the house, but there are no phones that you can find. Yeah.
Could I do another criminology check or I guess search just to go for identifying records, papers about the people that we're in now?
Search.
To get more information on them? Yeah.
There is a lot of actual paper and notes and documentation and things like that.
All right. Made that one. That's 37 under 50.
Yeah, you find a big pot. You find lots of like there are handwritten books. There are stacks of paperwork. There is actually a plethora of information available to you. So while those two are searching that, Maci, what are you going to be doing?
I want to check to see if there are any other vehicles on the premises that we could potentially.
You do not find any other vehicles in the garage or on the grounds. That only takes a few minutes to see. You do see multiple tire tracks, not just your car, but another car. So they took at least 2 vehicles. Actually, I'd say there's a tractor in the back that you could all get on, but it looks pretty old and rusty. It may require some. I don't know if you have any mechanical repair skills or anything like that, but that would be the kind of thing to get that started. I will say this, Madeline, you do find a safe in one of the bedrooms, like a big safe. It has a combination lock. So, but yeah, there is enough paperwork and handwritten books that all of you could comb through these in general. Somebody give me some kind of
A quick question. I want to find a piece of paper and pencil or something. See if my handwriting matches any of the handwriting of the notes we found.
Your handwriting is still your own. Yeah.
Total Recall lied to me.
Sorry. Weirdly enough, your tentacle arm is very. Were you left or right-handed before this, or is it your tentacle your dominant limb or not?
Let's say it is my dominant arm.
Okay. So your tentacle arm is surprisingly dexterous.
Madeline, I know you're still struggling to remember some of these historical facts, which I completely understand and I'm very sympathetic to. If you can think about or think if it might be in any of this documentation, like, is there a location important to the Drowners that they would like go to with the tomes to run their ritual? Because if they went to a second location with the books and our bodies, they probably did it at that point for something
right
non-uselessly important.
Can I use a different skill to see if I recall anything about the cult, Ross?
You can make an occult check by looking through the handwritten books that are
Okay,
here.
yeah. I will do that.
Because they are clearly writing about their guess what? You found the Drowners of Lethe. That much is obvious.
Yeah,
So you get that for free. So you do find for free. I'll tell you, they fear a deity they call Lethe, who they personify as the destruction of knowledge and life.
How is Leaf spelled?
Like the Lethe, like the river.
Oh, okay.
Lead. Okay.
Yeah. Lethe. Yeah. So they in Greek mythology it's a river, but it's a god to them, a god they fear, and a god they must placate. So you get that through their writings, which is very hard. They're very far gone. Like they're the kind of they're so in deep that it's hard for them. You imagine it would be hard for them to blend in as normal people, even before the tentacles. So you're looking at those. So you get that information fairly easily. And Lorenza, what do you want to do? What do you want to do next?
Looks like we have the information there. So I do want to go outside. I know we saw the tractor out there, which is not great. Search or alertness check, I guess, just to see if there's any other vehicle, or are we like on a farm property?
Yeah.
Or
you're out in the middle of nowhere. There's forest in the distance, like overgrown farmland that has not been kept cultivated. In the very far distance, like miles and miles away, you can see a light. Someone's electrical light, like a lamppost or something like that.
For a neighboring property, or just
neighboring property is your guess. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a barn on the property that we're on?
There is. Yeah.
Okay.
You already looked in for big vehicles. That's where the tractor is.
Okay. I just want to go in there to see if there's anything else that we can particularly use that they might have stored away. So.
Okay.
That might be used to us right now, because if nothing else, tools for that tractor. But yeah, I don't really have the skills for that. But just to see if there's something that could be of use to us.
Okay.
So. Yeah, that's going to be +8.
Okay. +8 with an +8. Yeah, what are you looking for? What do you want to find that would be appropriate in a barn? There's nothing overtly occult, but there could be tools, there could be farm implements.
Specifically tools, anything that we could do for that tractor.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. If you had the skills, you'd have enough tools to fix up the tractor. There's even like a jerry can of gas, a couple of them actually.
I would like to criminology check to get into that safe.
That is something you'd have to be like a safe. You'd have to have the special training for that. You could use criminology to look through documents to see if they wrote it down somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, 48 under 50.
Okay, so you start looking through their notes and documents. A couple things come up. You don't find a combination. You do find a reference to a combination, but it's in reference to the cult books. So it's a cipher that they would understand, like a reference to a page in the book. So if you had the book, you could get the combination. But unfortunately, but you do get some other useful information, which is not great, but this is a pattern. This is something they've done before. They have clearly all their properties and stuff like that. In 1910, a person died and passed on to someone else, and then 30 years later, they passed on to someone else, and they have a pattern of doing this. And so every 20 to 80 years, it looks like, they have to switch bodies. And then they move somewhere else, very remote, and just in the middle of nowhere, just away. They're just... it looks like there's only 3 of them, so you got that going for you. But yeah, you get an idea. They also do have some notes about the local area that are very recent, like within the last year. They started making notes of where they can find isolated groups of people.
Yeah, I want to dig through those recent notes.
Okay. Yeah, you can give me another criminology check.
+4.
So this takes some time to comb through, but they circled in on a particular church about an hour's drive from here, called the Redemption Christ Redemption's Church, and they have notes of the schedule, the weekly and daily schedule of it. They have notes and photos of all. Well, actually, they don't have photos. They have drawings of all the people going there with their names, best times, no witnesses, at least 6 people there. They were looking for a time where there would be a group of old, and they're like elderly parishioners. It's a very the church congregation seems to be very old. Yeah, that is what they were looking for. But they were watching this group of people for quite some time, and making notes of who was there, unexpected visitors, things like that. So a very detailed surveillance record. So they wanted that group of people there isolate, where there's not witnesses, and they seem also very what is this? And they have a drawing of a cell phone, but no line? Question mark. Get all the rectangles. So yeah,
and I'm just sitting here thinking about because it's interesting that they would want to isolate groups of parishioners when they are elderly, but they clearly would want a younger body to continue this cycle. So I'm wondering, I doubt they would want to swap bodies with the older parishioners because that isn't exactly a refresh. So what did they want to get these older people alone for?
Oh, to kill them. I mean, based off of our briefing, when they show up, a lot of people die. So these will be, I think, some of those people who die.
Maybe it's connected with somehow that's like extending their own lifespans in some way.
Maybe, or something to do with tentacle arm. But
yeah.
I'm asking my friends here. It's like they clearly didn't understand the concept of cell phones, but one of them understands the internet well enough to post about an estate sale and post the exact picture that they knew would bring people here.
That's a good point. They do have a law firm, and they do have records of making calls. So there is a phone, or they had a phone here.
They understand phones. There's phone jacks.
Yeah, they have there's bills. They have a landline. They pay for a landline here.
What's the name? Can I look at the bills and see if I can find names, or is it all to that law firm, or is it all care of?
Well, it's to the estate of Robert Hunter, so that's the current alias. So Have I heard of this guy Robert Hunter being such a serious occultist? Nope. He is 100% under the radar, which is their MO. You can actually, with your criminology, you can also realize they made notes of actually like estate listing. Have lawyer actually, you find their notes on the their plan for bringing you in. Estate document will bring give the name of the book to the law firm for the estate sale. Some people will come sniffing around for it. Intelligent, well-cultured, educated, with money and privilege. Yeah, the perfect vessels.
Okay.
Promising immortality and just immediately screwing them over on that old chestnut.
Well, they wanted well-connected, wealthy individuals, and they got a 32-year-old girl living in a walk-up in Brooklyn.
A 48-year-old divorcee.
Paying off her bills to Columbia.
Younger than my current body, so
that's what you realize is they thought you'd be getting some antique dealer or some scholars or something like that that they could possess and
not realizing it would be federal agents or those otherwise connected to the feds.
There's no reference to the program or any fears of hunters. So they have no idea that you're dangerous individuals.
Right place, wrong people.
Of course, they probably have found your badges by now.
Let's see how they can exploit that. All right. Well, at least possibly getting us off that. So I have the tools. I technically don't have any other engineering, but I do have something of interest to you, Ross.
Yeah.
Heavy machinery.
Yeah.
Do I get a bonus by having the tools?
You can make it with that. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Let's hope, because I only have 30. Unfortunately, an 86 is not going to cut it.
Yeah, if you had mechanical repair or engineering something like that, I'd give you a bonus. But like heavy machinery is more piloting them than like operating them than like repairing them. You know some things, but like this is just something you don't have enough expertise to repair. It's a very old tractor. It's like 50 years old at least. So I mean, yeah. What are you gonna do next?
Can I search for any petty cash?
Yeah.
Take some cabs.
Well, there. Give me a search check. Yeah.
60 under 70.
You find $120.
It gets us one Uber ride.
Does the safe respond to me trying to open it using the tentacle hand?
Oh, good point.
No, it's a combination lock. Yeah, it's not magical in any way as far as you can tell.
Actually, that being said, how flexible are our tentacle limbs now?
They're boneless.
Can they be compressed?
Not enough to fit through the crack of a safe.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a pretty well made safe. It's a very old type of safe, but it is. Okay. The doors flush against its walls. Yeah.
No. If we are looking for there, I can make another criminology check there to see if we can research to see if we can find the reference in the book that they were making.
You don't have the book here.
Oh, I thought we did. So
the book we came here to get.
Yeah,
they took it with them.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And all of our searching through this gigantic stack of stuff, which I know we've done a few times, is there any reference to a secondary location that we can include?
Actually. Give me another criminology check.
Pass that one too.
All right.
These criminologies.
They have another. They own another property under another name, and they bought a bus 2 years ago, an old school bus that they bought all the tools and stuff that they kept it working. And this location, you know where this location is. And you know that they bought a bus and stored it there.
How far away is this other location?
Probably also about an hour driving away. Yeah, with that, all of you can put your heads together and everyone give me a criminology and occult checks.
Okay.
Critical success on occult.
Okay.
I failed that criminology. Sorry. Not
okay.
And critical fail here on the criminology.
Okay. Well, with the critical success, I'll you know 100% that they're going to sacrifice the people in that church. They're definitely going to do something. You actually got enough references in the book, in their diaries and notes and things like that, that they are sacrifices to Lethe to preserve their own knowledge. Life is knowledge and knowledge is life. So they have sort of an informational view of life. Your memories are you. And so by sacrificing others to Lethe, you can preserve your own existence. So, or extend it.
Madeline,
does that?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Madeline, I'm asking you, based on what you know, and on the occult, are they sacrificing these people from the church at the church, or are they sacrificing them somewhere else of cult importance?
The cult can't tell you that. Like, you know what?
So,
you don't. They're cult. Go on.
Well, they had the.
Which based on the history of the cult, I guess.
I failed that check.
Yeah.
Right. But you, based off what you found, they're going to the church at an isolated time. There's a bunch of old people there, but they're in 3 bodies. There's 6 of them. They have guns. So they have 2 guns. So they could
somewhere else.
From the history of this cult has been active every 30 years. Do I remember anything about like the method of which the bodies were like how did they know that a bunch of people died at the hands of this cult? Is there a signature way that they have killed their people? Do they do them at a second? Do they take them somewhere and kill them, or are they deaths on the spots?
Oh yeah, give me another check for that. Occult.
42 under 60.
So what you know about this cult is probably there's a lot of disappearances, and usually a group of people disappear and are never found again. But there's also a lot of actually things like law enforcement figures being murdered, being shot or stabbed, or murder-suicides are common. Your guess is that whatever happens to the people, there's people who disappear. Those are probably the sacrifice victims. So whatever happens to them, there's no remains. And then there are people who get in their way, and they die badly. They get shot or stabbed or horribly mangled in some way. But you don't know
Horribly
what
mangled
happened.
would okay.
Yeah, partial remains or burned remains or things like that. So there's a spat. There's what happens is that people go missing. Law enforcement investigates. Law enforcement turns up dead.
Okay, all right. So they're probably not going to body hop again. Something like that.
Yeah, I was more thinking, do you think they're at the church doing their ritual and will kill the old people there? Or basically putting them in the school bus and taking them to the secondary location. It sounds like putting them in the school bus.
School buses for transportation purposes, probably back to where they keep the school bus. How far away is that town in the distance?
The church is about an hour away. It's not.
No. You said that there was lights we can see outside from the window.
Oh, that looks like another farmhouse, another person.
Oh,
there's like a mile or so. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
It's within sight, so you can walk there.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, we might have to go pay a visit next door because I don't think we can't really do anything from this house.
Yeah.
No.
What time of the year is it? Hopefully not winter.
Yeah, it's spring.
Okay, good.
So I would say before we leave, search the house, see if there's any other maybe long-sleeved shirts or extra ones that we can get, gloves perhaps.
You find a closet that matches you perfectly with a lot of long-sleeved jackets and
I hate these freaks.
trench coats. And there's there's a bunch of slings and casts as well that you can pop on and off.
Arms.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like they've had to conceal this for a while, and this has been an ongoing issue. So yeah, you find all kinds of stuff that is perfectly suited for you.
Just pop it right on. What's wrong with you, Phil? Oh, big old tentacle arm. Just flop it about.
Yeah, Madeline, you find the same thing. And let's see here, Maci. You find a lot of skin cream care and things like that, and a lot of tissue boxes. Also, something to kind of like scrape your sweat in like little bottles and little droppers, and like a little like customized squirt guns, so you can collect your sweat and shoot it.
Does this?
One more thing before we go. Can I sniff the inside of the syringe and sniff my sweat?
It's not the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking around the house or the kitchen, or something. Anything that could be used as an impromptu weapon, a knife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, kitchen knives, pitchforks in the barn.
Okay. By any chance,
machetes.
old guns?
No guns.
Ugh.
There is a gun. There is a gun cabinet, and you find a couple of shotgun shells. But there should be a bunch of. You get the impression that they took out a lot of guns and took them with them.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and pocket some of those shells just in case we need them.
Okay. Yeah.
Also, just silly thing right now, but since we're walking and anything else, water bottles, canteens, anything else that we can take along with us just in case.
Metal canteens. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Make sure those are filled up. And do they actually have any food in the house either? Too, because I have known the last time we eat. So
yeah.
Is it edible? Does it look like they chopped off their own tentacle arms and were eating?
Looks like they buy frozen food in bulk and then reheat it. And they have a bunch of rations, military rations from like the 90s. There's a pallet that they've been working on for a while. Yeah.
Well, it's not my body.
Yeah.
Look, we're saved. Oh no, it's all veggie omelet. We're fucked.
Yeah, they have like, what is the cheapest, longest lasting food, and we'll get a bunch of that so we don't have to go and get food for a long time.
They're not worried about botulism.
Nope. They probably don't know what it is. Yeah.
Botulism's not a new thing. in regards to our tentacle hands, like, can I feel it when I touch it with my regular hand? Are there like nerve endings?
You
Okay. Okay.
I think it's
you wrote with it.
I think we're stuck with these for a while.
Well,
so.
I wanted to see, like, do I have physical sensation from tentacle hand?
You do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. I think we need to vacate the premises and.
All right.
I'm taking that address with me.
Yeah. You can take that information.
I'm gonna grab a sling, an arm sling, and a knife from the kitchen, from the big block in the kitchen.
I grabbed a knife and various sweat extrication.
Oh, actually, is there by chance an axe out in the?
Sure.
All right. So do they have like a duffel bag or anything?
Yeah. Old military duffel bag.
So take one of the old military duffel bags, put like an axe, and maybe if they have a sledgehammer or a maul or something out in that for putting down posts. So put that in the bag and just sling that across my back.
You take all that stuff. You start marching onto the neighbor's house. Yeah, it takes an hour. It's you can see it, but it's rough, uneven terrain, and you have to keep marching. By this time, it's morning. It's overcast, but it's like 9 a.m., something like that. You've been, are you just marching up to the front door and knocking?
Yeah, I'll do that because
Okay.
So,
what's the
what's the cover story?
Yeah. No. One, what's the cover story? Two, what are we walking into? Are there multiple cars here? Is there one car here?
There is one car. It is a pickup truck.
Yeah, I figure. I will say that we were out there. We were asked since, what was his name? Robert Hunter. He passed away. We were working with the lawyers on his estate to do some fixing up around the barn. The people we were with, there was a miscommunication. They took our car. We just need to ride back into town. We
don't know if that's actually a real person or not. And these are his neighbors. So he might know us.
So I can see how they react when they answer the door first before we... So we have two stories available. So yours is the other one.
Yeah.
I guess it's the other one right now. It's like, hey, the old tractor's broken down. We can't get back into town.
Yeah.
So
can I? Yeah.
Okay.
Can I borrow a cup of car?
All right. So Maci's knocking on the front door.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
do you guys want to be with me?
Yeah. Yes. So I think so.
Right.
So I'll knock on the door and see what their immediate response to me is. If not, then I'll go into my cover story about miscommunication with the car.
You knock on the front door. Are the other two in sight, or are you around the corner?
I'm gonna be around the corner.
Okay.
I'll be up with her.
It's a little weird to have two people with their arms in slings come knocking at your door, I'd say.
Yeah, it's true. So at least one other.
Two old people with their arms in slings.
All right.
So,
old men fight all the time. What are you talking about?
We're not men. We're women. We're all three old. We are three old women.
Three old women. Okay, sorry.
I'm also nervous and sweating, so if this goes south, I can just
face waterfall him and die.
Face water.
That's Plan C. Now that I have murder sweat, it's always Plan C.
That's true.
So Lorenza and Maci are on the front door, and Maci knocks, and you hear an old man's voice, and it says like, "Eleanor, Agnes, what do you want?"
We get right into town.
What do you mean?
Tractor's out.
Broken.
I thought I saw. Was Ada take the car? I saw it drive out yesterday. Ada ain't come back to town?
Not yet, no.
Maybe in a day. You both can give me a human check.
Yep.
Can we borrow the car? I passed
98.
49 under 60.
Okay, so Maci, you realize, one, your name is Eleanor. Two, Aaron's name is Agnes, and Ada is the last one. That's what he's calling you. But three, he is deeply suspicious of you and deeply dislikes you.
I don't like that. I don't like not being liked. I'm a sweet old lady. I'm probably not sweet.
He does not trust you a bit. He doesn't trust you to the point where he's not opening the door. Like, that's how much he distrusts you.
Yeah,
there's bad blood between you. Yeah.
Can't we just let bygones be bygones? We just got to get into... I'll borrow your car and bring it right back.
No, absolutely not.
I have an idea, but I can't say because I'm out of sight.
Absolutely not.
Isn't that the neighborly thing to do?
You killed my dog. You never admitted it, but you killed him. You killed old Elmer.
It's very regretful.
Yeah, he's bringing up old business. Obviously, there's been bad history between these two properties.
Well, I understand what you're going through right now, but that's like you said, Netta, was it? So was
Ada never came back.
Ada,
and we have no way to get. She's in the hospital, and you have no way to get to her because she took the car.
No, she is in a bad state. We really need to get back up to her. So, and we have no way to do that. The tractor is the only way we could do that, and it has been broken down for months. And you know that I am awful with that. So if you could just give us the ride right now, we would be eternally grateful. Persuade check?
No, he says, I'll call the hospital. I don't even believe you that she went to the hospital. You told me that doctors were frauds and leeches, and that the body's humors healed themselves through the divine something or whatever nonsense you believe. So I'm going to call the hospital right now and find out that there's no Ada Hunter in there. So he stomps off. Yeah, you can hear him loudly calling on the phone.
All right, is his truck? Is his
key in the car? Is the key?
Yeah,
this is a country. It's a country place. The key in flap.
No, it is. It's like he has neighbors he hates and have been messing with him for years because they're batshit insane cultists.
All right, I think we have to do some B&E and to steal those keys.
We know he has a functional phone and he's on it. That means he's only 3 fingers away from 911. Probably not great for us.
Yeah. So yeah, if you want to wait, let me know. Obviously, let's see here, Madeline, you can hear all this from your hiding spot. So yeah, but if you don't do anything, are you doing anything, or are you just going to wait for him to come back?
I feel like we have to do something.
I don't like this idea.
Is the door
and it is
the door is locked.
We have a bag full of party favors.
Yeah,
it is breaking every protocol.
Mm-hmm.
We have tentacle hands.
You do.
This is making me nervous. I am sweating, so I'm just like,
yeah.
And like,
he's not opening the door.
I'm looking at you in the duffel bag, and I'm just doing this. Like, all you have to do is use one of those hammers to pop that door open, and I am just.
Yeah, string times 5. You want to pop it open?
I'll
looking at the house.
I'll do it. And so because I only need to get because I have a flexible tentacle arm, I just need to get like a hand in to unlock it or whatever,
Yeah, it's not as tight as the thing. You could, use crazy tentacle hands. So what are you doing though, Lorenzo? It seemed like you were rolling dice. Were you popping the lock off with the hammer?
That was my plan. Or sorry,
letter. I think right now.
What are you doing? Yeah. Let's not.
So in this case, I could. I'm assuming this is just a very simple one too. So yeah, we'll take the butt of the axe and just break that through. So
knock the doorknob off, basically.
Just use that in there too. And
okay,
I'm looking back over
face band.
I'm looking at Maci like the lightest touch.
Okay,
like you don't know if this kills.
So did you make your strength times 5 check?
I'm about to. So
okay. You do get +2 to your strength.
I do get +2 because of that. So. Absolutely make that 49 under. So.
Okay. So you knock the door open and it swings open. You can see down the hallway there's an old man holding up a satellite phone. And his eyes look of just shock and anger. And then we're gonna go into combat time. Order of initiative. So who has a let's see here. I'm gonna give him some. What is his dex? He is old, so he has a dex of 10. Does anybody have higher?
No, it's dex of 10, so same.
All right, so you're moving at the same time.
I have an 11.
All right, so you're farthest. You get to you hear that open. You peer around the corner. You see the shit is hitting the fan. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna run up to him and try to put him in a chokehold with my tentacle arm.
Okay, so
Seems like it'd be good to do. Good.
in order to get
that.
your two allies, your two colleagues, are blocking your path. So you need to give me an athletics check first to run around them.
Can I give you a dex times 5?
No, it's athletics.
Okay.
This is like football,
I
duck and
rolled a
weave.
15 under 30. Old lady shoulder hustle my way through.
Yeah. Give me a unarmed check.
29 under 50.
All right, he is going to oppose you. He does have dex, or he does have unarmed at 50. So would you get 29?
Yep, 29 under 50.
Okay, so he needs a 30 through 50, or a crit. But he rolls a 56. All right, so you are you doing damage, or are you grabbing him?
I was going to put my tentacle around his arms or around his neck so he can't talk into the phone.
All right, yeah, grabbing, yeah. All right, so
Yeah.
all right, and he sees the tentacle for the first time. So the cultists have been very good about hiding their mutations, but that's out of the bag now. Also, all you give me sand checks for violence. You're attacking a civilian.
Yeah, I failed that one.
Yeah.
I passed that one.
I somehow passed that one.
All right. Right now it's just 1 for failing. Yeah, and a violence check mark. If you do anything worse, it'll be another violence check. So, like drugging him. So he already acted. He tried to fight off, and he failed. The phone drops from his hands as he puts both hands around the tentacle. Maci and Lorenzo, you act at the same time. So Maci, are you going to slap him?
I'm not gonna. I don't want to do a full slap because I don't know the potency
You don't.
my drippings.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna gently. I'm gonna start off with just a finger.
You're just gonna boop him.
I'm gonna boop him and just see what happens.
He's a thrash. Oh wow, it is not affecting him right now. So he did get a con check for that. So obviously he's full of adrenaline right now.
Yeah.
And Lorenzo, what do you want to do?
I'm going to go ahead and take my other tentacle arm and use that to try to how long can it go around? So was it just the size of a normal?
Your reach
arm?
is about a foot longer than it was normally.
Okay. So
a bit unnatural to be able to extend your limb that far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to get behind him and basically do a similar grapple because he has his hands up. He has his hands up around his throat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to bind his feet right now and see if I can pull him out from under him. So
yeah, give me another unarmed check.
Yeah. So not enough, but just to incapacitate him. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that succeeds at 29 under 70.
Okay. Yeah, he's totally pinned. He's totally helpless.
Okay.
And new round, all 3 of you give me alertness checks.
Okay.
Critical success.
Okay.
45 under 50.
Failed.
With the critical success, you notice both things. There is a shotgun propped up by the door that he was obviously just put down in order to make a call. And you hear hold music coming from the phone. So he was on hold with the hospital. And so he is helpless. If you keep drugging him, he will be knocked out eventually. And give me another sand check there, Maci.
Yeah, I'm gonna, because I want this to be faster. I just want him to be knocked out. So I'm gonna, instead of booping him, I'm gonna put my finger up his nose. So I'm touching touching a mucosal membrane. I don't want to stick it in his mouth because I don't.
Yeah, just give me the sand check. He will be knocked out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he is paralyzed, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Pass that one too. Apparently, this guy's pissed.
Yeah, he just stops moving. You can still feel a heartbeat, but yeah. He is. It is a paralytic. I assume one of you turns the phone off.
Turn the phone off.
Yeah, we would shut the phone off. So.
Or hang the phone up. Yeah. You have a breech loading shotgun now, and he is knocked out or paralyzed. And
is there any evidence that he has a wife or someone else who lives here? Or does it seem like it's just him?
You search the house quickly. You don't see anyone else.
Is there evidence that someone else also lives here?
There is photos of him with a wife, but give me criminology or human, whatever's higher.
I passed
28 under 50 human.
He's a widower.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's
Is there a
photos
way
of
to like stage the scene, like go tuck him into bed, just make it look like he's sick, in case someone else was home? But no, let's Grand Theft Auto this motherfucker.
Yeah. Are you? So
I'll
you
take
just get in the car. Yeah.
I'll take the phone. Someone want to take the gun?
Yeah, I'll take the gun there. With it, and we need to find his keys too for the truck. So,
they're in a table by the front, little bowl by the front door.
Okay.
Before we leave, roll search. I want to see it.
Oh, he also has a second car in his garage, a Charger, Dodge Charger.
That one might stick out a bit.
Yeah.
I'd like to search because it seems like he really hates us for reasonable reasons, it seems like. But he seems like the kind of guy who would have like a file of notes of complaints he would have made about us or collected. I just want to see if I could find anything like that to see if we can learn more about who we are.
Yeah, no, it's in his little study. It's the Hunters, the Hunter family. He has a big notebook, big file on all of you. He has photos. They're mostly blurry. He's not a great photographer, but he has correspondence with a lawyer to sue the Hunter family, which never went anywhere because nothing could be proven. But yeah, list of grievances. There's a lot of documentation here. So that's pretty easy to find, actually.
You're definitely taking that with us.
Let's take that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take that. There's a pickup truck. There's a Dodge Charger. You have a breech-loading shotgun, and he's in bed. Doing all that took about half an hour. It's about 10 a.m. I guess. Yeah.
Question before we leave.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh,
you haven't done anything else in the house. That's all you've done so far. So yeah.
Do we want to? It's like we have our handler's number, correct?
Sure. Yeah, one of you would remember it without having to have just look at your phone. Remember for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we want to call them?
Your voices do sound different. You do not sound like you're... Yeah.
They are different, but we have identification information. So things that we could do to prove our identities.
Give me intelligence times 5.
Okay. Let's see. Yes, I make that.
What kind of outcome are you hoping contacting your handler would provide? What is your ideal outcome?
In particular, backup for intercepting them. So the others, because I'll be honest, at this point, I don't know if there's any way for us to get back into our own bodies. I hope we can. But at the same time, though, if they're going to do something awful in our identities.
If we tell the handlers that someone else is in our bodies, we know how cutthroat this program is. We're immediately burned and those bodies are dead, whether we can get back into them or not.
I know. But just, I literally think the harm they could cause.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you tell them, the best case scenario is there is. I'll put it this way: there is with Intelligence 5, you realize there's a way to transfer minds, obviously. So they obviously know how to do it. There's no reason why you can't learn it. It's probably in that book that you were sent to get. So
and the combination for the safe is related to that book. So
okay.
So if you tell them, they may be able to. You don't know if they have any assets in the area that would be able to even get here before they do whatever they're going to do, whatever ritual they're going to do to the people at that church.
I don't think they're going to drone strike a church in Western Massachusetts.
Well, I mean, and drone striking isn't really going to help the hostages any, is it? Yeah.
No, that's fair, but just thinking about
it. I agree where you're going, Lorraine. Like, I understand. I also would like way more help with this than we currently have. But I know that if there's any chance that we can get back into our bodies, I also don't want that body to be on a burn list and to be fucking whacked next week because we let our body slip into the wrong hands. Because exactly that's what's going to happen.
No, and you're not wrong on that too. Just had to at least get that out there and say that as an option in case this completely goes south. Well, let me rephrase that. More south than it has been right now until we hit the equator.
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, at least we have the other. Let's have that here. Yeah. Do we want to head to the church or the location of the bus?
I want to search the house really quick, see if we could find any more weapons. Again, middle of nowhere, there's probably more shotguns.
There is a gun safe, but give me search check to find the combination, which is probably going to be in a post-it note. Mr. Richard Germain is not a crazy cultist. He just writes numbers down.
68 under 70.
Nice.
You find it. There are 2 more guns, so each of you can specify civilian. A firearm a civilian is legally allowed to own. Those are the kind of guns he has. So, you already So a gun for each of you: breech loading shotgun, and then 2 other guns. So
Yeah, I'll take a shotgun.
Like what kind of shotgun? Like another breech loading, or
I
like
don't
a
know
pump
enough
action?
about shotguns, Ross.
Do you want to go like double barrel, or do you want to do chunk chunk?
I want a chung chung.
All right, pump action. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
I would like a pistol that I could hide into my sling.
Yeah. He's got a 45 automatic. Yeah.
Jeez.
And you got a breech loading shotgun, a pump action shotgun, and a 45 and ammo. So including a bunch of slugs and buckshot. He
He really hated us, didn't he?
Yeah, just or at least was concerned enough. So.
That shotgun by the door, is it loaded?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If you tried busting while he's by the door, he would have just fucking unloaded. Yeah. So where do you want to
go? Bus.
Take the other keys his other keys, so he can't use his.
He's paralyzed. I don't think he could drive.
Well,
but good plan. I mean, let's do it.
Yeah.
But it sounds like he's probably paralyzed.
You don't know how long.
Yeah. Or any satellite phone's his only phone. There's no landline.
It's his only phone. He does have a computer.
We'll take that too.
Right,
okay. Yeah.
All right.
We don't need him making very
any other ways of
angry next door
the
posts.
outside world?
You don't. I mean, it would take a lot longer to search for every single method. It's like how many? Yeah. I mean, it's still Massachusetts. It's not like the fucking. He can.
Does he have a cell phone? Does he have a rectangle?
No, he does not have a rectangle. He has a sat phone.
He's got a big rectangle.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. You can't get cell phone reception out this far out. So, where do you want to go?
Those documents we have from the house, what time do they say is most vulnerable at the church?
Morning dawn service, like 6 a.m.
Oh, okay. We are too late to go to the church then, unless they are still there. Because dawn service is
they would not have. There's no. Well, if they did it at the church, I mean, like there's only there's like an hour and a half window of opportunity there, where there's no one going to be around. So, if they did it at the church, they're long gone. It's already over. But
and the church was like an hour away from the house, so it's very unlikely that they did it already.
That would seems a lot likely. Yeah.
They're probably at the location where the bus is stored.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
The secondary location.
Never go to a secondary location.
We could do a drive-by of it just to see where it is.
Yeah, if there's anything out there, or if our car is there, that's always
yeah.
Who's driving? Is it Sticky Hands or?
I have 50 in drive.
I have a 20 in drive, so no.
I have 50 in drive, so I can drive. So
either of us could drive.
Yeah.
Do you want to drive with the tentacle hand?
Yeah, how was your comfort level of driving with a tentacle hand? I'd be happy to drive because I have 2 functional hands.
Yeah, like I said, that's true right now. As long as I guess we keep the gloves on too. Like I'm good with either one because it seems if nothing else, I can actually shift a lot more easily than I used to. So, but if you want to drive, so it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah,
so Maci drives.
Wear gloves as nicety to my fellow drivers.
So the three.
Please take the wheel.
And the satellite phone rings after about 30 minutes out. Does
it have caller ID?
It does. John M.
Not going. What's the guy's name?
Richard Germain.
Richard Germain. I'm not going to answer. Mm-hmm. I'm going to look at the contact and see how often this individual John M talks to Mr. Germain?
About once every week, 2-3 weeks.
Okay.
Probably his son, maybe.
Different
Last name.
different last name.
Could have taken mother's name, but you're right. So, but,
What was the name of the lawyer that he was?
Oh, you're right.
with?
Thank
It
you,
was
lawyer.
not John M.
Okay.
Hmm.
I'm not going to answer the phone because
All right.
I obviously do not have the.
All right, goes to voicemail.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, can we listen on the voicemail then? So,
Yeah, hey Richard, it's John. Just want to let you know I'm gonna swing by this afternoon to pick up that lens. Thanks. Yeah, really looking forward to this trip to Michigan. I think I can see a lot of really interesting birds out there. So I really appreciate I know that telephoto is really expensive. I really appreciate that you trust me enough for it. So yeah, I'll send you all the really good pics. As soon as I get back. So yeah, I'll be around 3:00, something like that. Yeah,
he'll be fine. Just walk right in, take it. He's asleep and he's fine.
Yeah. Well, another half hour. You're at the property line. It is an overgrown farmland. Again, more heavily wooded, actually. But there is a dirt road leading further in. All three of you can give me alertness checks.
Okay.
I fail.
Okay.
I failed.
As did I.
Okay. Well, the gate swings open a little bit. Someone forgot to close the gate and chain it again. So,
Oh, crud.
but there is a gravel road leading further into the woods. What do you want to do?
Yes. Do we want to drive in? Or proceed on foot?
I want to drive in.
How
Yeah,
well
it's
do
just-
you think
it's
these
just
old
got like
ladies
one of those-
can drive?
They had a car. It
Yeah.
looked like so. Yeah, they could drive a bus. It seems.
So at least have the basics down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we also have to remember they're not in old lady bodies anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some stuff doesn't transfer. They don't. So
So yeah, you could park on the curb. It's a country road. Doesn't get much traffic. You could park down the way a bit, out of sight, and then hop the fence and sneak in. That'll take more time, obviously. Or someone can get out, push the gate open, you drive right in. But the woods. It's getting to be closer to noon. Sun's directly overhead. The trees are providing a lot of shade, so you can't really. And you all failed your alertness check, so you can't really see too much from the road or hear
Okay.
anything. Yeah.
we're not in a museum or an old house, so this is outside my areas of expertise. What do you guys think as the best course of action as FBI agents?
I think sneaking is probably the wiser option, but I also think we need to get this car somewhere in the woods, maybe on the other side of the road, because in approximately 3 hours, the owner of this truck is going to be noticed. And while we are kind of out in the country, we're still not that far away from where we started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I said, well, let's go ahead and pull it up. That's like it's pulled up, so at least it's off the road, so it's not being seen directly. And let's hop the fence.
Okay. Yeah, that takes you a little bit of time, but you all hop the fence and you start going into the wooded area more.
Oh, Madeline, put that sat phone on silent, please.
Yep.
Oh yeah, good catch.
I'm turning it off.
Yeah.
Shotguns are out while we're walking down this road, just in case.
I assume you all want to sneak in through the woods.
Oh,
Guess
that
you're
is
trying to go
definitely not
stealth
my
this-
area of expertise.
You do get
Neither.
plus 20 because it is, the woods provide a lot of coverage.
All right, let's try
Yeah.
this for a 30 plus. So let's find out.
Is this stealth?
Yeah.
Or- okay.
This is not.
At a plus 20
Or sneak, whatever that's called.
I got an odd 9. I made
Hey.
look at it.
I made mine too, because of the bonus. Thank you, bonus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It would not have been. Well, no, I actually would have made it by some miracle this time, but
Maybe, the people that would notice you were distracted for some reason. What about you, Max?
I fumbled.
Yay! Yeah, Max, you with a fumble,
Twigs.
You accidentally shoot your gun.
Yeah, that's actually what gun are you armed with?
I had a little 45.
Yeah, you hold it in your tentacle arm, and the tentacle is a little harder. God, yeah, you shoot your gun. You do all, but you get far enough in the woods that you can see a barn, and you can hear voices coming in there. And then Matt, you like, oh God, you tense up your little tentacle finger twitches, and the gun goes off. And we're gonna be sad check for helplessness because oh fuck.
Yeah.
Failed that one.
1. Yeah, that's one.
This one I passed. Apparently, I'm in my federal agent element.
Yeah.
You've heard a gun go off.
Passed it too.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just gonna go into combat time initiative, with starting again with Madeline because you had the highest dex.
Do I see anyone come outside?
You just pulled the trigger. They would not have had time to do that. You know there are people in there. You can actually, this is an old, so it's a wooded area, but there's a barn, right? Like trees have grown around this barn. That's how old it is.
Okay.
And so it's old and shitty enough that the slats are open enough that you can see a school bus inside. Just bits of yellow. And there are people moving about now. And there's some sort of light source inside, but you can't really tell. Like and then you fire your gun into the woods, not into the barn. And you're on the side of the barn looking, there's it's got doors to the front, so you're like on the side of it. But they're, the boards look pretty old. Yeah, there's probably multiple entrances into that barn. Yeah.
I've also, on second thought, I have kind of shouldered my shotgun and pulled out my paralytic squirt guns. Mm-hmm. Because these are our bodies. I don't want to shoot it with the shotgun.
Yeah. Of course, squirt guns are very short range.
But it's still, I'd prefer a body.
They have our gun. They have your gun guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so you have the first action.
Me?
What is your immediate reaction to shooting the gun accidentally and seeing after you saw people in the school bus inside the bar?
Can I aim at the door in the event that someone comes through it?
Yeah. The front or the back door?
The front, because I am not trained in such things. So that seems to me like the most opportune way to cover things.
All right, you stop and pull your gun and level it at the front door.
Yeah.
Basically at the corner. Again, you're looking at the side of the barn.
Right.
Yeah. So you point over and you start aiming the gun towards the front. We'll do Maci next. What is your reaction?
Oof. At this, I don't want to put myself out in the open if not a ton else has happened yet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it just I feel like this is the point in which your what you do matters a lot because, everyone is going to be very, Yeah, so I'm gonna kind of break away from them. I want to be still in the cover of the woods, but as close to whatever the obvious exit of the building probably is. So give me an alertness check.
That one I passed. 25 under 50.
Okay, the front door is closed. They closed the front door behind the bus as they drove the bus in, but the back door is ajar. You can see this part of the back gate open.
Okay, then I want to stay in the cover of woods, but get as close to kind of that back door as possible.
So you want to still be maneuvering. Okay. All right, so you can either sneak up there or you can run up there.
I guess how far is where I want to be in the woods from that door?
You're probably 100 feet from the gate.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I think I'm just being dumb with.
Yeah.
We're all in the woods.
It's on the side of the barn.
On the side of the barn.
Yeah, and about 100 feet away from the barn.
Okay, but that's from staying in the woods, how far is where I want to go in the woods to where I am closer to the back door?
I mean, you can get. How close do you want to get away from the back door? I guess how much ground do you want to cover and how quickly do you want to cover it?
I guess I want to get there quickly because I want to try and do it before they come outside. If someone.
Yeah, so you want to get up there so they pop out, you squirt them with a gun, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to choose whether you want to be undercover or just be as close as possible.
For the squirt guns, I probably want to be as close as possible.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll do as close as possible.
All right, so you break cover and you're running up, close as much distance as possible because you have very short. Yeah. So, all right, athletics. You're running through broken underbrush.
33 under 50.
All right, so you just erupt from the woods.
Old lady just running through.
Yeah, fueled by these bodies actually don't feel. They look old, but they don't feel old. You
They're
don't.
magic.
Yeah, there is sort of this weird vitality to them. So you cover that ground, and now you're like 10 feet away from the gate. Like not even 10 feet away. You're like practically hugging the barn. If anyone pops out, you'll be at point blank range with a squirt gun. At the same instance as you were breaking cover and running up to the barn, squirt gun at the ready. Lorenzo, what do you want to do?
Can I basically do a similar maneuver but cover the opposite side of the barn? So basically to get
you're
around.
On the left side of the barn, right? So if you want to get on the right side, you have to run. You have to do a lot of fucking running.
Yeah,
right?
So I was thinking athletics check, just trying to get over there in position to where I can.
Okay, yeah.
If somebody tries to go.
Flank them, yeah. Pincher maneuver, yeah, classic.
All right. Let's see. That fails, unfortunately, since I only have a 30 on athletics, so it's going to take me a minute to get over there. So,
so you get closer. Are you running around the front or the back of the barn?
Back of the barn. So,
okay. You see Macy's in perfect position, but you're sort of in open ground. Anyone coming out from the back is going to see you first.
And that's fine. If nothing else, that gives Maci distraction enough to actually nail them with the squirt gun. So,
all right. First, so they were all surprised, so they don't get to act this round because they didn't understand what the fuck was going on. They all have your decks. It's weirdly enough. Let's see here, Madeline. What is the other you going to be doing? The other you,
the corporeal you,
is going to. What were you armed with? Like just a standard FBI handgun?
I didn't have
you didn't have
because I'm an anthropologist.
That's right. The other one of you comes out with a Tommy gun. Like a fucking fucking Chicago typewriter.
I shoot myself in the foot.
She comes out with the Tommy gun looking. She sees, let's see here, Lorenza, obviously. However, Maci made a crit success to ambush. So, Dex times 5 to squirt her.
It's not fire.
Do it.
No, it's a squirt gun. Like, yeah.
It's a gun?
It's definitely not.
I'm going to range this weekend to practice my squirt gun grouping.
Yeah.
It's still a trigger. 40 under 50.
Yeah, you still hit it. All right, so Madeline, what's your con?
Oh, my con is 50.
All right. They get a con check. They crit failed. 77.
Down.
So you see yourself paralyzed and just fall over.
I turn to you and the old lady about it and just go,
hurry.
You you see yourself fall face down under a gravel path. Take a sand check. That doesn't look good.
Leave a mark.
Fail that one.
Yeah, that's one. For helplessness and unnatural, like that's not great. Now you acted. Let's see here. They're pretty alert. That's not.
You stay there, Lorena. You're a great draw of the eye.
Look at me.
All right, so here's what happens next. You already acted, Maci. You hear them speaking. They're yelling. They're talking to each other in your voices. You hear Lorenza and Maci talking to each other in a language in ancient Greek. But see Madeline fall over, and they know what the sweat does. So they're going to blind fire at your position, Maci, through the barn wall. So. They need I'm going to say that it gives you 20% off. So they got a 20% chance of hitting you. And they roll a 27. Bullets go wide, just explode the wall behind and in front of you. Give me a sand check for violence. Someone is trying to shoot you with a very large, like a semi-automatic rifle of some kind.
That I do not like. That was a 69, opposite of nice.
Yeah. So that is going to be 2 for violence. Someone's trying to murder you.
I will say I am 2/3 of the way there to adapt to violence already.
Yeah.
It's been a hard day.
It's been a hard day.
It's been a very hard day. And what is the other one going to do? The other one is also going to shoot at you, because what else are they going to do? And they have a shotgun. And that actually hits. So you are going to take only 2 damage.
I'll take it.
Yeah, as you get peppered with buckshot. And
I like to imagine it hits me in one of my arms, and I go, "Damn it! Now I have a fucked up arm too."
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So they didn't even shoot at you, Lorenza, but you can see them inside. You see yourself and Maci in there blasting away with like an M14 and a pump action shotgun.
Great. Okay.
So I grabbed 2 of the squirt guns. Can I toss one to Lorena?
You said John Woo this?
You had 2 of them.
There were 2 there.
Yeah.
I grabbed the scrapers. I grabbed both squirters.
You already acted this round. You don't have time. You squirted and then get shot.
That's a good
at.
idea.
You're
but I'm still at least on there. Can I go ahead and do a shot where are they positioned in the barn?
Oh, yeah, so you actually get to see in the barn. So there's the school bus in the middle, obviously. Mm-hmm. But in front of it, they've set up a ritual site. And they have all the hostages with black bags on their head. There's about about 9. It looks like there's 9 or 10 of them. You can't see. They have black bags. They're tied up. And they're kneeling. And one of them... there's 6 of... There's about half a dozen off to the side. And there's 3 of them... that are sort of like in the middle of this circle, or you can't really see the circle on the ground, but yeah, they're sort of clearly being prepared to be ritually sacrificed in some occult ceremony. There's
the other parishioners there, so okay.
So you interrupted them from sacrificing any of their parishioners, it looks like.
Okay,
but you and Maci, the cultist versions of you, are behind the hostages, firing a pump action shotgun and M14 through the wall towards Maci's position. So they're behind the hostages. Yeah.
Okay. Look around. I guess would it be a alertness check to see if there's anything that I could hit near them that could potentially either be, explosive or enough of a decompression. Because
how much do you like your body?
That's the question, dude. But something else that could I'm trying to knock them off guard here. Is there by chance a large compressor in here, like they would use since they have the bus in here, and they would have to have stuff to repair or keep it in repair, possibly? So for airing up the tires, is there one in here by chance?
You don't see it. It's not immediately inside.
Damn it.
There's a tire on the bus, though. Is that?
That is true. So
they're not by the tires. The bus is at the back of this.
Or is there anything else I can, if I do another athletics check, can I get into cover somewhere in the barn to give us a more opportune firing position?
You could get up against the back wall, like the back gate of the. You could be leaning up right outside the barn. Yeah. Basically, but you'd only have the wooden wall between them. They could shoot through the wooden walls. There's no the only hard cover would be the bus, and you would be behind the bus on the other side. Yeah,
and I can't do any kind of suppressing fire option because they're behind.
You sure
hostages.
Can. Why wouldn't you be able to? Well, yeah, there's hostages. Yeah, sucks for the hostages. But yeah.
Well, I'm trying not to hurt them too. I'm just trying to scare these guys.
Yeah, you probably don't want to just spray gunfire in there then. So
no. Well, like I said, and I only have the double. I have the breach.
Yeah, you can't really suppress with a shotgun either.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get into a position where I can at least be behind more cover, and then see if we can get.
Well, there are trees outside. There's lots of cover outside because wooded, and the trees are pretty big, so they would stop bullets. The barn walls are clearly not stopping bullets. And then there's the bus. That's really about it. You don't really have any good options. Yeah.
Oh, I know what I can do actually, because it's what at least with Madeline's original body, is she still sitting there? That's like unconscious or paralyzed on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Drag her behind, out of sight. So
Hey, leave my body alone. It's fine where it is.
So
all right, that's an athletics to get there, and then strength times 5 to haul her out.
all right, cool. Well, if that's my thought is if they think we might be harming her, she might be needed for this ritual. So,
well, she also has a fucking Tommy gun, which is pretty useful.
That's true. So,
all right.
So athletics. With that, nope, that failed unfortunately. So,
all right, so you get to her, but that's your basic. So now you're really just the most easy target for them to hit.
Yeah. So if nothing else, it's a distraction again. So
yeah, no, we'll find out. So new round. The Max, your Madeline gets attacked. Your other Madeline isn't doing anything for a long time.
I didn't do anything last round.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah. You get. I'll just say you were surprised by seeing yourself.
Sure. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you get to act, and then you get to act again. You'll get to act twice in a row. All right.
I'm gonna try to sneak in the front and do the old chokehold from behind thing with the tentacle arm.
Okay. Yeah, you can. Yeah, rush in and do hand to hand. Go and give me athletics to get in melee range, because there's a lot of
nail that.
Okay. So you make ground, but like there's hostages in the way. There's uneven ground. You're basically near Lorenza. When you're with your first action, but you get to act again. So
all right. Yep. So roll again, or
yeah. So roll again. Yeah.
15. I make it this time.
Okay, so you can now make an unarmed check. Who are you targeting, Lorenza or Maci?
Who's got the machine gun?
Lorenza does. Yeah.
Let's go for her.
Okay.
Failed by 6.
Okay. So
unless I get a bonus for no, I don't get a bonus for coming from behind.
No, yeah, you do not sneak up on them. You do have plus 10 to unarm, but
that was with it factored in.
Okay.
56 over 50. So
yeah, she's pretty agile. So you got to act first. Then it makes sense for the bad Lorenza to come after you. So she is going to. She can't really shoot you with a big gun like that. You're too close. So she's going to try and unarmed to knock you away so she gets a clear shot.
Okay.
Actually, no, you failed the check, so she gets a shot. Yeah. All right. So she does hit. That is going to be 2d6 plus 4, or 2d6. Actually, it's just 2d6. And that is going to be... wow, just 2 damage. Again, just 2 ones. So
I'll take it.
Yeah. Stand check for violence for being shot.
Failed that.
All right, yeah. 1. And actually no, it's 1d4, sorry. Let me roll for you. 2. Just rolling a lot of 2s tonight. So you get shot. The bullet just grazes you though. So all that's left is the Maci cultist, who's acting the same time as both the PC cultist and the PC Maci. Yeah. What are you two doing? She's going to shoot at one of you, or she's going to shoot at Lorenza. So because you're out in the open, so
what
you can
miss. The ceiling of the barn made of? Is it like tin, or is it something that would fall and create a disturbance?
It's wood. Yeah. It looks. Yeah, you could do that. It's like an old decrepit barn.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna use my shotgun, the squirt gun. I'm gonna shoot at the ceiling, kind of over that scuffle, to see if I can just like cause them to pay attention to something that isn't us.
Okay. Yeah. Roll fire. Yeah. Roll firearms.
Pass.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah, you shoot and you angle it right, you aim correctly, and a wooden beam falls on the cultist that... Which cultist are you targeting? The one...
I really wasn't. I was just targeting the area above them.
Okay.
if it falls on me, I understand, and I will sand violence my own body again.
All right, that will distract the cultists. The remaining 2 cultists. They'll have -10 on their next action. So,
and I want to say that was a pass with a match. It was not. Yeah, it was a barely pass.
Okay, so that is distracting the cultists, kind of suppressing them. So the cultist is going to be shooting at you, Aaron. So are you going to dodge, or are you going to just hope she misses?
It's her body right now, and this one I'm going to hope she misses. So,
okay,
because I want to try to bum rush them. So
she does miss.
All right. So
you do need an unarmed check to get to her this round.
That's fine. I can very much do that. So
okay,
or at least I can try if my dice decide that I'm worthy. And apparently it is, because I actually got 70 on the dot. So.
Damn. All right. You give me that unarmed check. She cannot resist you if you connect. You, yeah.
Yep. 36. So.
All right. Do you want to do damage? Or do you want to grapple?
Grapple, because I want her to fall unconscious. I'm trying to.
Okay.
That's I'm trying to make sure that I'm trying to leave our bodies as undamaged as possible.
Okay. You start choking her out. I forgot which one that is. I think you're choking Maci out.
Maci, so
yeah. So new round, Madeline. You can try unarmed again.
That's the plan. 18 under 50.
Nice.
Okay, she's gonna fight back. And rolls a 97. So yeah, I assume you're grappling her too.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, you all win. Like this fight, you Maci, you can rush in and just hit them with the sweat, and they're not immune to it because they're in your bodies. The mutant versions are all the mutants are immune to the sweat, but you're not. The humans aren't. So yeah,
I was curious about that.
Well, because the other 2 of you get splashed with the sweat because you're the ones grappling it, but it doesn't affect you. So yeah. So you found out by the hard way. You didn't would have gone a little dicey if it but between you succeeding on the grappling check and you doing this and the sweat, they're unconscious. So so you have like 9 elderly people absolutely terrified with bags over their heads. They don't know what's going on. They're praying. They're just, besides themselves with fear. And you have your bodies unconscious, and the Prayerbooks of Lethe, which is in the center of this circle that they've made.
I'm beelining to that and trying to find the body swap spell.
Well, let me do that.
Though, yeah. We have to consider right now also that these people have recognized. Well, I started pointing out us as kidnapping them.
Yeah.
So that might be an issue.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't know if you could have, probably, maybe you were wearing masks. You don't know.
While she's doing that, can I search the bus for anything? So
yeah, you do find ski masks and gloves.
Oh, thank God.
And ropes. Yeah. So, and you find your car and another car, probably from the Hunter estate. What do you want to do now?
I assume this book is hella old.
Yeah.
In Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Was
parts of it in Greek? The oldest parts are in Greek. It changes languages to English at some point. So yeah.
Okay.
Please tell me this is Greek to you and you understand it.
Yes, I do have that Greek as a language.
Oh, thank God.
So, was the book open at all to a certain section?
Yep.
Oh, what does the section it is open to say, or what does it concern?
Yeah, give me an occult check.
How about anthropology? No. 67 over 60. No, I don't.
Yeah, this shit is fucking weird. This is a big book. This is like the kind of thing you take a long time to read and understand. I will say you do not think they were thinking of switching minds with these people. This is nothing about mental transfer. This is sacrifice.
Right. Yeah.
So they were each wanting to something about giving something about bribing Lethe with others to extend their own selves.
That right now, we're able to leave it right now that says transfer minds.
I mean, yeah, you can give me an occult check.
32 under 60.
Yeah, you skim through. There is a reference to a transfer of minds, but this is the kind of text you would have to spend days reading to understand. And unfortunately, you don't do it for other people. Only one all of you are going to have to learn the spell in order to transfer your minds again.
Okay.
Here's an interesting question. This is more like you're all like two of your FEIs, one is academic. You have your own resources, you have your own lives, and you have been working with Delta Green for a time. The real question is, to what are you willing to do to get your old lives back? We don't have to do this case by case, but like this is going to take time to do, and certain choices will have to be made to create a cover story to explain why you went missing for a while. And like how much are you willing to steal, lie, or are you willing to hurt people? Are you willing to kill people? Because you especially the people with criminology, if you could think of a scheme, you could make a criminology come up with a scheme that if you're willing to kill innocent people, you could figure a way back. It would be pretty bloody, but like, yeah. How do you keep Delta Green from knowing? Yeah, it's not. Don't worry about like the trade craft. Worry about the morality. There's no like good way of getting back. There's no like it's easy and it's hard, but like it's time, right? Like how do you explain you're missing time? Like each of you has to learn the spell. Each of you has to cast the spell, and that will probably take at least a week. Now, if you were to explain these horrible cultists kept us hostage and we escaped and we killed them, and these hostages were also murdered by the cult. Boy, that's terrible. That would if these hostages aren't here to explain like any inconvenient things, like, oh yeah, we heard a gunfight and people fighting each other, and then like something happened, we don't know exactly what. That would certainly, the fewer witnesses the better. But that's kind of like, or you could tell Delta Green, you could make a pitch to Delta Green. That's the other thing, is like, hey, we have an incredible asset.
Yeah.
We can get it anywhere now. We can do anything. And there's a part of Delta Green that would go for that.
Yeah,
as much as I don't like that.
That's the part I'm kind of leaning to.
This leans into my motivation of discovering a great find, and this would be this qualify as a great find. Also leans to my motivation of verifying authenticity. We are samples A, B, and C that this does work.
And besides the point,
the program would be really interested in my sweat while I can produce it at the time being.
Exactly. And my only concern right now is that we officially become sell T as in transfer.
Well, that's the other thing. Do you even want to kill these cultists? They could be great assets to the program.
Ugh.
So I think we should call this in.
Okay.
We don't tell them about the mutations, though. We tell them that we have verified the authenticity of a tome. Oh, by the way, we've been mind swiped.
So you're telling them before you swipe transfer back to your own bodies, or do you like learn the spells and swap bodies back and then tell Delta Green?
So there's a complication. What time is it right now?
Probably now it's about 2 p.m. You hid the car. The truck.
No, that's not what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about our passed out friend back at the farmhouse. Because in about an hour's time, someone's going to be knocking on his door, being like, "Oh my gosh, what happened to you?"
And then coming back around that
name I've forgotten.
John. Yeah.
John.
Yeah. Well, they don't. He doesn't know about this location. You don't. Obviously, you can't go back to the hut.
That's safe, and he will say like it was those 3 crazy old women. So this isn't a quick like we're doing this in the afternoon thing. So I feel like we might need some support. But you are correct that he doesn't know about this place. So we could hide out here.
Or go somewhere else.
Yeah, because we have the satellite phone.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have our own phones.
We do have our own phones and other
Got
brothers.
all your old shit back.
All the rectangles are here.
So the idea that I could think of, since we do have covers and funds and anything else, is take the 3 cultists, because everyone's blindfolded and they have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Put in an anonymous call
to drop the bus off somewhere with all the hostages.
Oh no, we don't drop them off anywhere. We go away. We keep them. We use either a burner or a satellite to call the authorities to let them know that they're there, because they have not seen anything else. We destroy that. Use our funds to get a hotel room somewhere or someplace else to learn the transfer. Make sure that we all safely do that, and then we call it into Delta Green, and then explain the situation.
Okay.
I mean, we could do that. Yeah, I mean, we could do that here, but
yeah. All of you can give me a luck check. It's 50% or less.
Okay.
Yeah. I rolled low. I got a critical success, even though luck doesn't work that way.
All right. Each success means you know a safe house, an isolated.
And I got
safe
success.
House. Yep. So since at least one of you got you can go to a place.
Yeah.
And with the sweat drug, you can just keep drugging those people. Yeah. Or lock them, or basically take them to the basement of the safe house, tie them up, and gag them.
Because
or yourselves, basically. Yeah, you're torturing yourselves. Yeah. So,
and then we just do everything one at a time. Or the sillier thing is we could actually switch those locations right now, so these 3 never know exactly where they are. So
yeah, no, you keep them drugged until they wake up in a basement somewhere.
Yeah.
So give me sand checks for helplessness for doing this to your own bodies. Yeah.
That one I think.
48.
All right.
Success. Is it still 1?
Oh, this is 4 if you fail.
Oh.
For helplessness.
Really?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Is it? Well, it's still 4. It's a D4. Yeah.
Crit fail 99.
Yeah. 4 sand.
Anything for pass?
0.
Oh, damn it.
And I absolutely went past my break point, so.
Yeah, you're definitely gonna have a permanent disorder for this.
Dissociative disorder.
Yeah, weird. Yeah, maybe a little bit. I see myself as though they were a different person.
I keep feeling for an arm that's a tentacle that's no longer a tentacle.
So, yeah, all of you give me intelligence times 5 checks to learn the ritual.
That one I passed.
Okay.
Success. 50 under 70.
76 under 85.
All of you learn.
85? Damn, you have the smartest FBI agent the Bureau's ever produced.
That's why I'm still working near 50, so.
Yeah. To learn the ritual takes another D10 of sanity. You can roll that yourselves.
Oh,
D10.
Just roll a D10.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
4.
Also gain 5 points of unnatural.
Yeah, I'm down to 21 sanity.
Mm-hmm.
5 points.
It's not good.
No, it's not.
And then it's a D4 to cast it. They don't have. Yeah.
Right.
Can you project any of that?
Sure.
No.
Why not? You can project all of it. Or, I mean, a D4 at a time, but yeah.
Okay.
The casting you can't because you need the willpower.
Right.
Yeah, but you can. You can project it to everything.
Yeah, I'm going to project that 4 onto my sister.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. I'll project some of that onto my dad. So.
Yeah. Screw you, Dad.
Yeah. Got 3 back. So yeah.
All right. But yeah, so it takes you all days to learn this. So it's about a week. But you all made your checks and you all learned this. You all now can transfer your mind into another body in just by thinking about it. That's why it's so corrosive to know this.
Oh no. Ooh.
Yeah. And you're back in your own bodies again. And they are in their bodies. And yeah. So at this point you can get enough pharmaceuticals. You're FBI agents. Well, do any of you have pharmacy trained or medicine?
No.
I have medicine at 20.
No, that's not really good enough to be able to get good pharmaceuticals.
Oh no, I have pharmacy at 50. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. So you probably have connections to get high grade drugs to keep these cultists drugged.
Well, I mean, I was scraping it as we were learning.
Well, they're
immune to it.
Oh, that's right, they're immune to it now.
Yeah,
right.
the mutants are immune to it. So
But
yeah,
you know what they're not immune to? Thorazine.
So now knowing what you know and knowing you could transfer bodies at any time, do you still contact Delta Green, or are you going to just try to explain a week? You have the books. You could just tell them it took longer.
Yeah, it just took us a while.
Yeah. And then
Who's got the best persuade?
Yeah.
I have it at 50.
The real question is, what are you going to do with the cultists then?
I mean, they had us tied up for, even though they're old ladies, they were pretty spry because they were pretty unnatural. So they had us down with the sweat stuff for a while. But we were able to break out of it and kind of like form a coup.
I feel like they are way. I feel like they are way older.
So you're handing the cultists over to Delta Green.
No, we were able to.
No. We're not doing that.
Kill them and escape.
Oh, we are.
How are you killing them? Yeah, how are you killing them if you are going to kill them? Like, you haven't decided that.
Sedative overdose, just let them slip away and like they're.
Oh no, I don't think that's.
I think we have to destroy their bodies.
We got to do it the
tentacles.
Yeah.
Anything else in that book about it? About them?
Oh yeah, give me an occult check.
Yeah, it's,
just reading that never harmed anyone.
In for a penny, in for a pound, 36 under 60.
There's something about those who have been blessed by the stasis of Lethe. The mind, the body does not die, but rather transcend into the servant, into its protean form.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Since we didn't do the ritual, did they lose their immortality because the ritual wasn't completed this generation?
You don't know?
I don't think
that's something that would take months. Yeah.
I don't think that's keeping them immortal. I think it's keeping them from changing into something else.
That's fair.
Like, I feel like they did the sacrifice to maintain a human form. Because that would explain why they have tentacle arms, perhaps.
But now that brings up the question with us, though, is that going to happen to us?
Well, you're in your original body now, and your body does not have any.
Yeah, we're not cultists of Lethe that's sacrificing people to have longevity.
Keep that too, so that's fair enough. But it's just it's still a concern just because we did it. But
protein form, like microbes.
You don't know.
We don't know.
You do need to contact Delta Green very soon if you want to go back at all.
Yeah.
So
now we're back in our bodies. I feel like we have to now call this in.
Okay.
Absolutely. So yeah.
So who's calling it in?
The
cultists are tied up, and you don't know how long you're going to be able to keep them there because. Give me a pharmacy check.
Okay.
I assume you're drugging them.
Yes, absolutely.
Should we dispose of them?
Ought to. They're not waking up for a while.
Give me a sand check.
Okay. Damn it, they woke up, didn't they? Oh, that failed. So
just one, but for unnatural. They do not react normally. You're giving them enough. They're becoming very resistant to this, like in a way that people don't. And you also notice their bodies, the person you're injecting, which was your body, you notice her mouth, the teeth are like changing. You see she kind of opens in size as she's heavily drugged, but you notice extra rows of teeth growing in her mouth. Sharp teeth.
Where's that sledgehammer?
There.
So you made your pharmacy check. So you speculate whatever trauma or damage to the body does not harm them, but accelerates mutation.
You know what? Something someone can't mutate through? Having their head removed. Theoretically.
I mean, it burned.
Yeah.
I mean, remove the tentacle arm.
I don't want to play surgeon.
Okay, so they're all drugged for now. Probably at least an hour. Probably not much more than 6. Sometime in that range.
I got it. Let's rent a wood chipper.
Well, that takes time. And give me a luck check.
Make that.
All right, it's business hours. You do have time to go rent one. It is not in the middle of the night when we're caught up. So this is where time starts becoming an issue again. So you're all back in your bodies. You've just finished the third transfer ritual. You've drugged the cultist in the basement. You realized that they're fucking weird and mutating more, and you really need to call A-Cell if you're all feeling that urge to report home, like, hey, we're still alive. Otherwise, they're going to send a cell in to investigate your disappearance. So you don't know what I'll say. Yeah, they were found. There was a hostage situation, and the people were found. And there's still an ongoing case. It's a lot of questions. The Hunter state is being turned up by law enforcement because that's obviously tied to it. And Delta Green probably really wants to know where you are. So let's see here. I'll just start with Madeline. What do you want to do?
We can't leave these things alive because they can do ye old brain swap. So they need to die in a permanent way, or something equivalent of that. Because I guess I was wondering, like, the bodies can be shot and hurt because we were shot and hurt. So they can die by conventional means, or at least be harmed by conventional means, it seems.
We have an axe. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, we could have done that from days ago if that was the case.
Well, no,
Yeah.
we needed the
Well,
bodies.
but at least for now, right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes. We did need our bodies. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is true.
But at this point, let's like mock it up into right now, since two of us have criminology and forensics, so we could make it look enough like kill them, make it look like enough of a struggle that was going on. Set the building on fire and walk out, and then call them.
There's no reason to burn a safe house.
So at this point, to get rid of this thing, to make sure that there's no chance of them coming back, I actually will disagree on that. So, but that's me. Because since I saw that they were evolving right now, I'm desperately concerned right now that one of those heads will start growing other teeth in a potential other body. So, but that's I will go with group consensus though. So.
Yeah, we need to kill them somehow.
Yeah, my group consensus is chop them up into pieces.
Okay, so the priority is to kill them first before calling home. I've heard a lot of different things. The wood chipper, the set them on fire, chop them up with an axe. So you can chop them up with an axe right now because you have an axe. You can rent a wood chipper. You can't take the wood chipper indoors. You are in a house. It is not a. It's I'll say it's a country house, but not that country. Like, you can put it in the backyard and feed them in there, but you have to wait until like midnight and hope no one sees you. No, you could, if you did midnight, it's close enough. Assuming there was no other sounds, nobody would see it. So you have to wait till when it's dark, because if you do it during the day, there's a chance someone could see you feeding a human into a wood chipper. It's not that remote. It's not
humans.
Yeah. Good defense. And setting the house on fire. You can do that. Or you can do something else. But you have what you have, and you know what you know. So what do you want to do? Do you want to try the axe and see how it goes, or do you want to just soak up the basement with accelerants and light a match and drive off?
Can be both.
Little A, little B.
Okay, so you want to start with the axe then? Probably should. I mean, because you don't want to start the fire and then start chopping with an axe.
I mean, that's a different show altogether. So
So I want to see what happens when I cut off one of the squid limbs.
Okay. Give me strength times 5.
Oh, I'm back to regular strength too. Failed that.
Give me sand check.
Failed that.
All right. You lose 1 as you cut into the arm. You do not sever it. It flops around. She shrieks in pain despite being drugged. She comes out of it, and in her other arm slips loose of the chains you have around her, and becomes a tentacle, and misses you with a 94. But one of them is loose now, heavily drugged. But what do you want to do? The other 2 of you can act because you're there. I assume armed.
Pull out my FBI issue pistol and shoot the one.
Use the Tommy gun.
You do have a Tommy gun and shotguns too. But yeah, no, you said the FBI handgun. So
But Madeline's in close contact. The pistol cleanest to not.
Oh yeah. Roll firearms.
No, I'm gonna just go for. I'm close enough combat where saying a headshot. Would a headshot be a negative?
You can do a headshot without penalty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll be behind to do that in case.
So you make it?
Yeah, so D10.
Okay. So she slumps over with a bullet in her head. Everyone give me a sand check.
Oh,
this is never good.
That's a failure as well.
That's a fail.
Yeah, the bullet hole starts sealing up, and the flesh starts bubbling there. And as you all watch, anyone who fails is just stunned watching. And this is another 5 sanity, actually. It grows into a third eye. As her body is rapidly mutating now, and
I'm projecting some of that 5.
Yeah, okay, that's
same here.
Yeah. Just don't forget willpower save. So,
okay.
Oh.
Now you won't have to make any more sand checks for mutations. You get the idea now.
Are we adapted to mutations now?
You are adapted to mutations.
Everything needs to burn right now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
How quickly can they adapt thermogenesis?
You want to find out? Like you don't. How would you know? How would you figure that out? Like, there's no.
I'm so glad we did not do the wood chipper thing. I can only imagine what that would.
A million little.
Yeah.
It would just like gum up the works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, shit. I should have thought of this beforehand, and I feel really stupid for it. But requisitioning or going to a green box to get some thermite. So
too late now. Yeah. Criminology checks to set a really good fire.
3.
All right.
Arsonist supreme.
Okay, yeah. So you know enough about arson to do it yourself, and you really saturate the basement and everything. And get outside, light it. It'll take it a couple minutes. And so the real question is, how long do you want to watch the house? You know it's going up in fire, but right now all the doors are closed, all the windows are closed. You can see flashes of fire.
We brought the books out of the house. With
of course. You brought everything.
Yes,
Valuable. It's just the cultist in the safe house. The real question is how long you want to wait to watch it.
Do we call it in now so we have a reason to still be here?
Well, you kind of if you're too obvious and too close watching, the fire department is eventually going to come and they're going to be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Good way to get arrested. So you do kind of need to leave if you don't want to get caught.
The story's over. It's fine. Let's go.
All right.
We're done here.
All right. You drive off. Who's calling it in?
I'll call it in.
Okay. I was supposed to verify the book, and I can verify that it is authentic.
All right. You can do it as a group call. Conference call. Yeah.
I have a 70 in persuade in case we need it.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you make that persuade check then? Do you have persuade too, Lorena?
Yes, at 50. So.
All right. So you get a plus 10 to your roll.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. All right. So what's the Lorena? What's the cover story? What's the reason why it took so long to get back in the context? Okay.
The cover story, I think, should be that it was a honeypot. Vector had to be dealt with before asset could be retrieved. Asset retrieved, deemed authentic. Vector contained. That's
okay.
None of that is a lie.
Yeah. So you hand over the prayer books?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They accepted. Good. All right. We made cover for you. We're glad to have you back. And one last thing. Everyone give me a luck check.
If I fail, I'm swapping brains with the handler.
I pass. Oh, I get the low, so good.
I got low.
1.
All of you made it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. They don't suspect.
Oh.
They read the prayer book. They know what's in there. They believe you though. Yeah. They don't realize what happened because if any of you had failed the luck check, here's what would have happened. All right, make an alert. Like, if you'd failed the luck check, I would have had you make an alertness check. If you make the alertness check, all right, tell me where you are at home when you hear, someone's breaking into the house. What do you do? And if then that's the Delta Green person sent to get you. They have a tranq pistol. They're there to knock you out and drag you out for interrogation. And so basically with a presumption that, are you or you're not, you aren't. Yeah. So like, if any of you had failed, you probably would have been like fucking killed. And then all of you would have been killed out of paranoia. But y'all made it.
We made one roll. That's the important one to make.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
you got real close though. Yep. But yeah, that is Lethe. That is my shotgun scenario for the 2023 contest.
Oh, cool.
So
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And there's a D6 mutation table. So you missed. Number 1 is legs fuse into a slug-like uniped. You can cling to surfaces and climb at a decent speed. Number 4 is the mouth becomes leech-like with rows of sharp teeth. Bite uses an arm skill and inflicts 10% lethality on lethal targets. You can still speak, but your voice is all monstrous. And then number 6 is third eye, gain plus 20% on alertness and human when it is open. So the cult had 2 rituals in the book: body stasis and mind transfer, you saw, but they also had body stasis where they sacrifice a number of people and they get to add the victim's total power as temporary power, and anytime they take damage, they can burn off temporary power. Or every time they age 5 years, they burn off temporary power. And the thing is, they can never naturally heal anymore. But anytime all their hit points run out, it resets to full, and they gain a mutation. But when they have all 6 mutations, they become a monstrous thing like a Shoggoth and just go into the ocean. So basically, their MO is to get a new body, then amp it up with a body stasis ritual to give it lots of extra power, live for a century, and then grab a new body and then juice it up with body stasis. So technically, when you're in your cultist bodies, you are all 3 unkillable until you got enough mutations. So if any of you taken significant damage, you would have just like gained more mutations.
Grown a new thing.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to you now, especially when we started to damage them and they just started to mutate even further right now because of the curse. So that's really cool.
Did we actually kill them or no?
You didn't tie up that last one, so she definitely got away. She definitely mutated and ran out the building. No, she probably would have gotten the others out. The fire's hard to see. Give me here. I'll roll 2 luck checks. Second one made it. Third one all of them made it out. But they're heavily mutated now.
And are they able to do any of those? I mean, I guess they can do the body swapping by just thinking.
They can do the mind transfer.
The other one without the book?
They could not without the book. So,
but now
we stopped it a little bit.
Yeah, so they're swapping in normal bodies. So they need to, and they don't know who the fuck stole their book. And they don't have so
we don't know where it is.
So they're just slug people now.
You are though. Now that I think about it, so they may want to pay you a visit. They'll probably pay you a visit in like 20 years. And be like, "Where's the fucking book?" So they'll be building up their resources again, their wealth, and then when they feel confident, in like 5 or 10 years, they'll come pay a visit to one of you, and fucking like, where's the book? No, really, where's the book? And try and flip you as assets. So yeah, your guys are kind of fucked too,
but we also know how to swap bodies now. So
that's true. Yeah, that's even if you remain in the same one. Of course, when you become Zero Sand, you become real fucking Patrick Bateman levels of interesting. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think Aaron, your character is probably first going to go that way.
Like I'm 23 right now. I'm hoping that some years of therapy might be able to.
What did you start with?
30. No, I started at 40. I was low, and It just was a race to the bottom.
I just start the story with like, yeah, you're already in the new bodies because I don't want to do the ambush and just like,
Yeah.
you're the new body. That's the problem. Yeah,
have a character that'll be useful for flashing badge. Immediately does not matter that we're a character that can flash
That's the best way to do that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
a couple years ago, Ross did a game called Forest Stowage, which I want to run with you, Claire.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah. I do, yeah. I'll have to think.
And also, it reminds me of another one that Tom ran a long time ago. We were all in Vietnam, and we started becoming bug monsters. So,
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The
inspiration for this scenario was reading an actual published Call of Cthulhu scenario from the 1980s, where it's like the inciting incident is a wizard from 200 years ago was an immortal wizard, and he was interned in a stone bridge outside of Arkham, and then a storm knocks the bridge down, and so he escapes and casts mind transfer on some camper he finds in the middle of the night. And the thing is, now the camper's trapped in this immortal wizard's body, and the scenario is like, yeah, he's kind of messed up by this, but, he could be a replacement character for someone. He technically can't die anymore, and he recovers after about a month. Like, it's just like some college student's now in a 300-year-old body, and it's just like an old wizened man, but it's still him. And it's like, that's the lead. That's way more interesting than Wizard going around murdering descendants of people who buried him alive. Yeah. It was very fun.
Don't go those anymore. He might break his knee.
Yeah, just a horrible little man. But I just wanted to do a little with shotgun scenarios. I like thinking of interesting little framing devices to mess with the players, and hope you all had fun. Any questions about this?
Did the angry neighbor die, or is he just paralyzed? I want him to be okay.
Yeah, he's okay. The sweat is lasts for 1d6 hours.
So it's just a paralytic and nothing else. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So
what was in the safe?
Oh yeah,
the phone. They knew that you see, their plan was to get your bodies. Get used to them, then go to the car, go to get the guns, wait until dawn, kidnap the old people, then take them to the old bar and perform the ritual, drink up their power, juice up their bodies, and then leave the country, basically, or leave the area. They knew you. Oh no, their second step was actually coming back to the mansion, figuring all of you would be so traumatized by it, you'd just be like, oh my God, what's going on? And their plan was just to keep shooting you or burning you alive until you turn into mindless monsters and melted away into the ocean. So like their plan was to get rid of you. Yeah. And so they put the phone in the safe because they didn't want you to call anybody, but they just assumed you'd be too scared to leave the mansion. And so they would just keep like shooting you or burning you or doing something until you mutate so horribly you lose your minds and you just turn into a Shoggoth that melts away into the earth. Did
they really kill that guy's dog?
Yeah, they're horrible old cultists. So yeah, basically the Drowners of Lethe view information and knowledge and life interchangeably. By sacrificing others to Lethe, they can preserve their own knowledge and thus extend their lives. Scholars can see Lethe as a metaphor for entropy. Students of the Unnatural can see Lethe as another name for Azathoth. So, yeah, it's the same like 3 or 4 or however many people that have been doing this for like 300 or 400 years. So,
the 3 cultists that we interact with, they're like 400-year-old cultists at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just and like they were active in the 80s, so like they vaguely understand technology like cars and guns and landlines, but like they don't understand shit about computers and phones and their cell phones and shit like that.
I really like the idea too, especially with like these cultists right now, that they don't gate any knowledge or anything from their victims. They're just in the bodies extending and are completely that's like unaware of that, which I love. Like I love how you stated that, like get all the black rectangles.
yeah. Like they understand that they're important, that people talk into them, so there must be like a radio or something. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So they're not dumb, they're just crazy as hell, and yeah, alien like post-human freaks. Yeah. They're bad. So oh yeah, they do actually. I did put in. They suspect the clandestine organizations hunt down anyone who studies the unnatural. They think it's the Catholic Church and the Inquisition. So
I mean, that's they've been around long enough that I like the warped sense of priorities. And part of me was like, they were around the 80s. Phones were a thing. They should know what phones are. But I'm like, well, then they were around the 50s. So like that large gap like probably skews your conceptual understanding of everyday things that we take for granted. So
they don't know how much the acceleration of technological improvement has happened in the last 40 years.
They're always a generation behind.
Like
they're just now learning about the PS2.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's going to take them years to get in a position where they feel comfortable going after you because of they have to read a lot about computers and shit.
They still don't trust those iron birds in the sky.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah, imagine being born in the 1700s and then seeing a plane like one day. Like, what the fuck?
Give them a warhead. It would literally kill them.
Yeah.
I'd invite them into my house and offer them some like
flavor blasted Cheeto.
Oh, kind of warhead.
I mean, of course they are immortal, so like they've seen some weird shit too. Like they've
give them some blue fire Takis and then just leave.
Their real weakness is Baja Blast. They can't stand the flavor. It's too intense. Yeah, do any of you think your characters are going to mind swap again?
I could see my character doing something. So my character is from one of Detweiler's short stories on his Patreon. So in the old Delta Green books, there was a character named Dr. Jensen Wu, who was in charge of the D-Stacks, which is where Delta Green hides a lot of their artifacts at the New York Museum of Natural History. And there's a character named Madeline who talks about the old man just passed away, and he had a jade amulet that he was always wearing. And the story ends with like her computer talking to her, which I think the implication is that Dr. Wu put himself into a computer. So
we call the Cave Johnson.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Nice.
So that's why one of my bonds is Dr. Wu.
Yeah.
So like I could see her maybe doing something like that to like maintain the D-Stacks.
I mean, there's this hypocrisy of Delta Green that they try and destroy and anyone touching the unnatural, but like all the leaders of Delta Green
depends on who you ask.
Yeah, no, I mean, they all, like, all the leaders, all the big, like, eventually, like, we need that ritual. We need this fucking occult bullshit thing to do the thing. So, like, Oh, a ghoul that can read memories by eating brains? Yes, that seems very useful. We'll kill you if you touch the unnatural, though. So, Claire, do you think your Maci is going to do that?
I don't think so. Like, Maci was 10 seconds away from like shooting herself in the face in the barn when I realized the situation was kind of helpless. So I feel like she wouldn't.
Okay, fair enough.
I feel like it made like like looking at herself like being crushed under a beam, like that was so fucked up for her that I don't think she'd ever want to like be in a situation where she'd have to look herself in the face again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and know that there's someone else behind the eyes. Yeah.
I think that like at this point now her body is her most like prized possession.
Okay.
And if like anything were to happen, like even when like if down the line she starts like under like going under like early stages of like Alzheimer's or dementia, like she's immediately like done. Like anything where she's questioning her own grasp of mind body, like she's done.
Okay, fair enough. What about you, Aaron?
Let's see, whichever A-list celebrity we're going at for right now, shake their hand, meet them, their greet and meet and walk away. But
damn.
No, actually, no. In this case, Lorenza probably would speak because she lost so much sanity in this thing. So, that she is just again, sincerely dealing with some form of dissociative disorder, probably for the rest of her life.
Oh, sure.
And the two fates that I can think for her that the happiest one is that she can probably isolates, but to the point right now where once she dies, right now she dies as herself, or depending on how long she's with the program, if somebody ends up finding out, like before she has died, and if it's just an impulse, they put somebody in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
And like we have an immortal assassin with us now. So
I mean that's the thing, especially if you go to Zero Sand, right? You can just be like, yeah, fuck it. I don't know. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But my positive one, honestly, is just like that she isolates her right now until she passes on to make sure that no one else has to deal with this as a potential curse, and she dies as herself.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll see. I mean, yeah, and now you all have 3 immortal cultists who know you all very well, coming after you sooner or later, or mind swapping cultists. It'd be really fucky if they, like, I don't know, take one of your bonds and be like, hey, where's the book? So, yeah, gonna get real interesting in 5 to 20 years. So, but that's for a future scenario or not. Anyways, thank you all so much for listening. Before we go again, Max, what is one of your podcasts? And Claire, what is the other? Yeah.
You can find me on Good Brews, Bad Views. We release 2 episodes each month, full audio commentaries on whatever movies catches our eye. Depending on when this comes out, we're either releasing 90s technology movies, which Claire was a guest on one with Hackers.
Ooh,
or
nice.
If this is in a later month, it's our Nicolas Cage month, because Nick Cage turned 60 this year. So we're going to devote a whole month to Nick Cage movies on the podcast.
Yeah. Nice.
My bachelorette party was Nicolas Cage themed. It was the best.
Cage match, yeah.
Cage match.
I did just watch
Cage Rage.
Cage Rage, yeah. I did with Manny and I watched Dream Scenario recently.
Oh, how was that?
It was okay. It had good bits, but it was kind of, the theme was kind of muddled. It was kind of like, all right, a bunch of stuff happened and then it ended. It was interesting stuff, but okay. Yeah.
I was wary about.
Yeah.
I was worried about watching it just because it looked like it was trying to hit a tone between either comedy or horror, and it just couldn't decide on both.
Yeah, that's it. It didn't decide. It couldn't. It was kind of muddled. Anyways, Claire, what about your other podcast?
You can find me and also more of Max and also everyone currently sitting in this room
Hey.
on Relatable Rolls, where we play games and review games, talk about games, and it's pretty rad.
Cool. All right.
Yep. Again, based off when this comes out, we might just have released or about to release our first episode of Impossible Landscapes. So if you want to see that play reenacted with a different cast, come on over.
Yeah, there's many interpretations.
There's so much room in the mezzanine.
There's so much room. Yeah. All right. Cool. Very exciting stuff. Anyways, and I'll have a link to the write-up of my scenario, so you can run it yourselves. So we'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.